Hi everyone. Today feels different. Today feels big. Today we are celebrating our 100th podcast episode.
100 weeks of showing up and having conversation over coffee. 100 weeks of telling some incredible stories behind the story. And through it all, we have not missed a single week. We've been here in moments of uncertainty, in weeks when life felt light. And, for us, weeks when it felt incredibly heavy. When showing up was easy, and when it was anything but. And yet, every week, we sat at our table at the Wall Coffee Roasters and pressed record.
From that very first conversation with Jan Michener to every guest who trusted us with their story, we are overwhelmed by the honesty, the courage, the laughter, and heart that has been shared in this very space. But this podcast is not just about us or the guests. It's about you.
To our listeners from beautiful downtown Atchison to across the world, thank you. Thank you for listening on your morning walks, in your cars, in quiet moments, and in the hard ones. Thank you for your messages, your encouragement, and for reminding us that stories matter and that connection matters even more. We truly could not do this without you. From the very bottom of our hearts, thank you for being part of Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam and part of our family.
Here's to the stories we've shared. Here's to the connections and the friends that we've made. And with so much gratitude and love, here's to the next 100 episodes.
Hi, I'm Morgan Kunitz, and you're listening to Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam.
Good morning, everybody. It's Cam and Jennifer here with Coffee in the Park with Jennifer and Cam, and we are so excited that you're joining us today. And we are coming to you live from beautiful downtown Atchison
at the Wall
Coffee Roasters. That's right, one of the best coffee places around. Hey, if you're looking for some good coffee, you will want to come down here and check us out. And as you heard in our little preamble, this is a very exciting podcast for us because this is our 100th podcast.
Cam, can you believe we have been sitting here at this table for 100 episodes?
That's right. Actually, what it really boils down to is 100 weeks. We have sat at this table every week for 100 weeks.
And let me tell you, we have tried, I think, every drink imaginable.
We have.
I can't even say it. Imaginable.
Yeah.
We even tried to create a drink, Cam. Remember that?
That didn't go very well. No, but hey, nonetheless, you need to come to the Wall Coffee Roasters. Check it out. Great place for coffee. And as always, we thank them for letting us use their space here in our little homemade studio in the back here.
That's
I
right.
like it. It's really cool. And we also want to mention somebody very special who has been with us for a very long time, and that's our sponsor, Wing Snob Canada.
Where the wings, Cam, are fresh, never frozen, 16 different flavors, 4 rubs, some of the best wings you will ever have.
No, they really are. They are some of the best wings you're ever going to have. And they have, like you said, 16 flavors. Your favorite flavor is?
Well, I don't know. It changes.
I know. Every time you go there, you got to try something new.
You do.
They also have Parmesan fries. They also have cornbread. And I just saw advertised the other day, they're doing like some poutine thing with wings. Got to check it out. So, hey, if you don't know what to have for supper tonight, then hey, check out Wing Snob. It's amazing. 10 locations. Check out their website at www.wingsnob.ca. That's right, I keep forgetting. It's always CA, not com. And you want to check it out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I know we have listeners all around the world, but this is a very exciting time in the city of Edmonton, Jennifer, because...
Well, the Oilers are in the playoffs yet again. First round, first game last night.
Let's go, Oilers. Let's go. Anyways, they won last night, 4-3. And so first round of the playoffs. This is their year, without a doubt. But my point is, you're sitting at home, getting ready for the game. I don't have snacks. get Wing Snob. What a perfect thing to have while you're watching the game.
I agree.
That's right. Anyway, so thank you, Wing Snob, for all you do. Thank you for sticking with us for all this time. And they've renewed to be our sponsors for the next little while.
They sure have.
And so, hey, we're excited about that because we have sponsors. And that's really awesome. When we started our podcast, we had no sponsors. Nobody.
Well, we thought it would last 5 episodes.
That's true. We did. We really did. And here we are, 100 episodes. Good, like it's not like I'm 100 or anything like that. It's like that podcast is 100.
That's right.
That's right. So awesome. So this is just an exciting day, but I'm very excited about our guest today for so many reasons that I'll get into once we get into the podcast. I'm very excited about it. And so, Jennifer, take it away.
I'm also very excited about today's guest. So it is my absolute pleasure to welcome none other than Morgan Kunitz from Kunitz Shoes. Welcome, Morgan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you. You know what? I'm going to tell you why Kunitz Shoes means a lot to me. I want to tell you right off the top. Jennifer knows this. My mother, who passed away a couple of years ago, 80, how old was she? 89. She passed away. My mother bought all her shoes at Kunitz Shoes.
Well, thank you to her.
And she would phone me and go, I just got new shoes. And I'd say, oh, where'd you go? Thinking Walmart or something. No. She went to Kunitz Shoes because for her, they were the best shoes ever.
Oh, well,
so thanks
awesome.
for taking care of my mom. I really appreciate it. She was alone and a single mom, and I'm a single child, an only child, not a single child. No, I'm not single, but I am an only child. And so it was important, and she loved Kunitz Shoes. Thought it was just great.
That's awesome to hear. I love that.
Anyway, so this is exciting to have you here. This is really great.
And I can't wait to get into Morgan's story. So we're going to kick it off.
So let's get going.
Morgan, take us back to your childhood. What is the very first memory that connected shoes in the family business for you?
Wow. Okay, that's early days. So that's when we were in Heritage Mall. We opened in 81.
Heritage Mall, not here no more, right?
It was a great mall. Yeah,
it's
not here anymore. It was a beautiful mall.
It was by Southgate.
Southgate opened.
Okay.
And then it was all downhill from there. And then West Edmonton Mall.
Right.
I'm not going to talk
about
that. Anyway, we were there for about 20 years. And so a lot of my earliest childhood memories are actually in the mall and hanging out there in the back hallways, in the stock room.
Yeah.
I remember my dad worked a lot because initially the mall wasn't open till 9 p.m. That wasn't very common.
That's right.
But
in those days. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we fought that really hard. We didn't want to be open on Sundays, and then eventually we had to. So my dad was there a lot, and so we would hang out at the mall. My mom would go grocery shopping and drop us off at the store for childcare. And my dad we had bins of rubber boots, and they kind of had a little lip on them, and my dad would put me in those bins, and I would sort of be told to stay there. And then as I got a little bit older, we would play cops and robbers in the back room in all the rows. So many happy memories, unpacking huge shipments of winter boots in our garage. Right. I definitely did not work below the legal age that you could work.
Okay.
But it was very much ingrained in what we were as a family.
Yeah.
We had a lot of other interests too, but the store was always that constant going concern.
Right.
My mom did all the bookkeeping. She still does.
Oh, okay.
She's amazing. Darlene, call out to Darlene Kunitz.
Yes.
And my dad, Dwayne, still works in the store every day.
Okay. So your mom and dad started the store.
They did, yes.
And what year? Do you remember the year? What year was
81,
that?
before I was born. So I was born in 83, the same year my brother was born.
Okay.
And so they wanted to, have their own business, and they did that, and did they tough it out. It took a long time.
I bet. So for context, so everybody knows, Kunitz Shoes is a shoe store, and they're big shoe stores.
In the city of Edmonton.
In the city of Edmonton, and they're independently, obviously owned and run, and all that sort of stuff. They're not one of these big box brand shoe stores. Nothing against them, but we went to Kunitz Shoes the other day, and we did something. We bought shoes.
Well, we bought shoes in honor of this 100th episode.
That's right. So my point is that it's this awesome shoe store that's just a great independent shoe store.
I think we're one of the biggest, at least in Western Canada, independent shoe retailers. Multi-brand. We also have our own brand of shoes.
Yes.
We have started initially, the first store was a kids' shoe store. It was part of a franchise. And 10 years in, we became Kunitz Shoes because my dad saw all those ladies in the mall buying shoes.
Like my mom.
Yeah, my mom. He saw her.
She was there.
And he said, I have to be selling ladies' shoes.
Good for your dad.
And then we also sell some men's shoes.
Yeah.
It was quite the selection, and we'll get into that.
Oh yeah, we'll get into it in a minute. Okay, so what high school did you go to in Edmonton?
I went to J.H. Picard.
No, you didn't.
Oui, je parle français, c'est vrai.
No. I went to Rochelle. And that was like, no, parle français, anything. That was like 9-0. That was like, but I knew of that school actually. Okay, so you graduated.
Yes.
I should never just say that.
Because
what if somebody said, no, I flunked out or I dropped out?
Right?
I better reword. For the next 100, I'm going to reword that. So you went to high school.
I
and
did
when
some
you
schooling.
finished. Yeah.
So our route to the store take over, that sounds bad. The route to us taking over the business was a little bit of a long one because my parents really fostered our passion for the arts.
Oh, okay.
So I actually did dance all through my childhood and adolescence,
what
as
kind
did
of
my
dance?
Ballet.
Ballet?
Yes. So my brothers as well, and they went into professional ballet.
Come on.
Yes, and I went to Grant MacEwan's theater art program.
Did you?
Yes. So we followed our dreams of becoming performers, and we had the best parents
Wow.
ever who let us do that.
No kidding.
So I moved away from Edmonton. I think a very important thing about being from Edmonton is going somewhere else.
Right. Checking it out.
We love to bash Edmonton and think that the grass is greener. And in some ways it is in other places.
Sure.
But when you go away and come back to Edmonton, you realize what an amazing city it is.
Where did you go?
So I lived in Germany for a couple of years touring with the theater company there.
Really?
Yeah. And
Sehr
then
gut.
my brothers were there for a while. So my brother, I have two brothers, but the one that is the business partner as well.
Yeah.
And then I slowly moved back. So I went to Montreal for a few years, then Toronto. I worked in wholesale shoes for a while to gain some experience about the industry.
Right.
And then I came back when I was ready, and when I don't think I thought I was going to take over the business.
Right.
My parents, the one thing that they never did was pressure us about that.
Right.
In fact,
Left it up to you.
They probably could have maybe pressured us a little bit so we knew it was an option.
Okay, that's the first time I ever heard that. Yeah, and we've had a lot of family businesses.
Yeah,
and so
they were like, spread your wings and fly, which is amazing. I'm so grateful for that. But we weren't really ever aware that that was an option. So when we came back, they were surprised. That was what we wanted. So my first, the middle brother came back, and 2 years later I came back into it. And then we were ready, and all that experience we had from the arts and creativity, we were able to funnel into the business. And so I think that's where we get a lot of our ability to, think in our feet, our marketing, and just our passion. It's very transferable.
Sure. That's amazing. So you were doing ballet in Germany? I
was doing theater.
Performing.
Okay. Yeah, I performed in like Tennessee Williams plays. I was the American accent.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the performers were British.
Yeah,
so that was an amazing experience, and actually I got to learn a lot of the European shoe brands there.
Of course.
And my
That's
brother
right.
as well.
A lot of shoes come from
some great shoes come from here.
Absolutely. Okay.
So exactly.
This is pretty cool. I didn't know you were into theater. That's really awesome.
And I still do perform.
Do you?
And now I do it for fun. I just recently started a society for producing shows. So that's my other passion project. That's not the store.
That's your side hustle.
That's pretty cool. We'll come back to that.
We will. That is really cool.
Yeah.
So Morgan, tell us about the first store. Where was the first store outside of Heritage Mall located in Edmonton? Like, when did that happen?
So when the mall was almost closed, so they were literally shutting the lights off in Wings, then my my parents decided it was finally time to move, and the store maintained its profitability in that mall. So I think that just speaks to the resilience of a destination.
Yes.
People were willing to come to a mall that was almost completely closed
Right.
to see our store.
Right.
So they found this location just 1 kilometer east of there. It was an old drugstore on Saddleback Road and 23rd Avenue. And so that location, I'm going to be honest, at the time was like a C or a D location.
Right.
I mean, it is since, but
C or a D.
not an A,
Not an
definitely
A.
not an A. And my dad and my parents had been spending mall rents, and that's supposed to include marketing
Right.
and
Yeah.
So they found this location for a very affordable rent, and it was a much bigger store, and they moved in there. And I know the first couple years were really hard, but it did come back after about a year and a half, and then they never looked back, because all the money they were saving on rent, they spent on advertising and product and filling the store with shoes.
Okay. I mean, shoes. I mean, you know, I was thinking about this last night in getting ready for this today. Everybody wears shoes, pretty much. Everybody.
Most people have 2 feet.
Yeah, and in the Western world, anyways, most people have multiple pairs of shoes. So shoes are, it's like hairdressers. You got to get your hair cut.
Well, and Cam, I think shoes symbolize something. I don't know about, for you. So for our listeners, if you've ever seen the photos, Cam is notorious for wearing white runners.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
But shoes symbolize something. And I want to ask Morgan this question. Is there a pair of shoes that symbolize a turning point or a milestone in your life?
Wow, that is a deep question. Oh my gosh.
It's almost philosophical.
It's so philosophical.
Yes, yeah.
A turning point. Oh man. Okay, so I have 2 answers. Okay, very quick answer is my first pair of point shoes, and we used to actually sell dancewear at the store, and so that of course was really pivotal, literally on my moment
Ballet,
in my life.
Pivotal,
The other pair of shoes, I think that really it will always stick in my mind. It's more recent. Is we started to develop our own brand of footwear, and through that we were able to do some customization. And so when we started doing that, we were partnering with local artists. And one of the artists that we connected with was Lance Cardinal. He's a really renowned muralist, visual artist, just all around amazing, talented person. And he created this white sneaker.
We saw them when we were in the store. The Oilers shoes.
He did that one too. But before then, he did one that was with his syllabic, the syllabics of his name done in a print. And when we saw that shoe, I mean, this shoe looked so cool. It looked so cool, but it also represented something special. It was very personal to him. It also had the beautiful Indigenous connection. But it was art. I think it's the first time I saw myself in this business box making. I didn't design it, but I was facilitating this.
You were creating shoes.
And so when that came out, it was part of a bigger collection, and the whole collection was just beautiful, and it also was a really interesting project in our first time collaborating with an Indigenous artist, so we learned so much through that process. The shoes are now held at the Royal Alberta Museum.
Really?
Are they? Yes, that's so cool.
Okay, that's cool. And when we were in there the other day, it was the Oilers shoes. It was I almost bought
He
it.
did. He wasn't
but
serious.
I like to wear my shoes, and I thought I could never wear them.
So that's his logo.
Yeah, they'd have to sit on the shelf. It's like, are you familiar with Fluvenvog?
Fluvog.
Yeah. So in Vancouver.
Yes.
And one in Edmonton.
Yes, but I've met him in Vancouver, and when you talk to him, he's just an artist. That's what he said. I'm an artist, and his shoes are his art.
It's your medium.
And so. How do you decide we're going to just make shoes? Who do you look in the yellow pages? Well, we don't have those anymore. But do you look out and go, people who make shoes? Like,
that's a bit of a risk too, to all of a sudden think you're going to start
making
creating your own shoes.
Yeah.
So it is. So it started initially. My brother and I we weren't really sure how the business was going to go, and it was trugging along. But we were looking for something new to buy at least for the store. So we said we are going to go to the Milan shoe show. It's called Micam.
Oh, okay.
It's the biggest shoe show
In Italy?
in the world. Yes.
Yeah,
If you've
in
seen
Italy.
Kinky Boots.
Yes.
In the end, that's the
Okay.
Milan shoe show. That's the runway.
Oh, okay.
So we said, we're going to go there. And
Yeah.
a lot of the people in the industry said, you can't go there. It's only for wholesalers. You're never going to hit the minimum orders.
Right.
Don't bother going. And we said, we're just going to go walk around. And worst case, we went to Milan.
Yeah.
Right. Not a bad thing.
Milan, yeah.
We get to this trade show, and at the time, it was the size of, I think there was 7 or 8 halls the size of the expo center.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's a lot of shoes.
It's so big. It's like an airport. Actually, there you would have seen it in the Olympics because they use the facility a lot. But you come in at the top,
Yeah.
take
Okay.
escalators down,
Yeah,
because it's just so big you can't even walk it.
Yeah.
And we go there, and it is tens of thousands of people buying and selling shoes. Our shoes.
Your shoes.
And we realized when we were there that we were actually part of a global industry.
Right.
When we were in Canada, we are so small in so many ways
Yeah.
and so spread out
Yes.
that it's hard to feel
Right.
energy about anything. And so we felt like that in our industry. And then we go there and we realize this is huge.
Massive. Yeah.
And people, we start looking around, and there's all these European retailers, with their stroller, little mom and pops,
Yeah.
and they're writing little orders, talking to the factory guy.
So
And
you're
not every booth, but
So you can do this.
so we walk into a booth that had some interesting shoes we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
So I thought that is something I can't get in Canada. And we wrote an order. And he put our name on them. We customized the colors and some of the constructions. And then they came. And they sold.
fascinating.
And they sold.
And they sold. That
This
is
the key.
fascinating.
And then a lot of the factories did have high minimums that we
Right.
couldn't hit.
Sure.
But over time, as COVID hit,
Yeah.
they were really hungry. So
Yeah.
then we just built it up over the last 6 years.
That's incredible. I mean, the shoe industry. Who would have known? Who would have?
and progression and growth.
Yes.
Right? And that must have been, a bit scary to
Yeah.
take that leap.
Yes, and you pay for those shoes before
Yeah.
they get on a boat.
Yeah, I bet.
So
Yeah.
if the boat
nobody's-
sinks, you're
It's
out.
not like you pay as you sell them type of thing. You got to pay up front.
Pay up front.
Yeah.
You have to keep your business cash.
So what does that
healthy.
mean now? Do you still have to travel around? Do you still have to go to Milan and?
Sadly, I do have
Sadly.
to go.
It's a hard.
I have to go to Italy
Yeah.
twice a year.
It's a rough life.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
I do actually. We go to another show sometimes now in Garda. It's on Lake Garda. It's terrible. But I do have enough connections with because Edmonton the climate is so extreme here.
Right. Yeah.
We do sell every
Yeah.
single possible type of shoe you could
You
sell.
do.
So,
For everybody.
Yeah, so when you're dealing with a factory in Spain
Yeah.
and they're making you a quote unquote winter boot.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them I need this lining to be this loft
Yeah.
in wool. And they're going like, where are you wearing these? And I show them a picture of what it is like in Edmonton in February right now.
minus 35. This is where we wear them. Yeah.
So we can get exactly what we need from them, and so we do have to keep going back to maintain those relationships.
Right.
And ultimately, when you're in the booth, you're developing the product right there.
Sure.
You have someone from the factory right there. On email, it's like lost in translation.
Right,
It'll
yeah.
happen.
And do you have to you must have to keep up with the fashions.
Yeah.
Because shoes change, clothes change.
Oh yeah,
You
and
know?
the global fashion market. I mean, every continent
Yeah.
has its own trends.
Yeah.
So that's something that we struggle with. Canada has very specific
Right.
kind of needs.
What kind of
physically.
shoe wearers are we?
We are very European. We
Are
wear
we?
a lot of leather.
Really?
Yeah, most of the world wears mesh running shoes or sandals.
Well, this is. I've been to a lot of countries where they're
We're very
yeah.
Central European
Yeah.
styled. So
Right.
like what they're wearing in the Netherlands, Germany, that type
That's
of
what
footwear.
we're wearing.
Yeah.
I think what my mom loved was she bought a pair of boots that had a little thing where she could flick it and the
Spike boots.
spikes
That's
came out
where I
there.
bought my spike boots.
She loved that because she did pop, and then she felt like she was secure walking on ice. But you wouldn't need those in like Morocco or anything like that.
No,
so,
in fact, winter footwear is there's the least amount of product development because it can only sell in Finland, Russia, Canada.
Wow.
Right.
This is so fascinating. The world of shoes.
The world of shoes.
I would have known. I remember one time I watched a documentary on Bata.
Yes.
And I think that's out of South Africa or somewhere like that. Anyways, it was fascinating watching the history of that. And they've grown into this kind of these multinational, every mall type of thing. But for you, this is just amazing. An independent shoe store and how you just keep it rolling and going.
Okay, but I want to circle back just a little bit because we talked about they went from Heritage Mall to Saddleback Road.
Saddleback,
Now, when I'm not originally from Edmonton, but when I first moved to Edmonton, I remember the downtown location, and that was the store. I love that store.
Where was that?
It was on Jasper and 109.
Yes, Jasper and 109, yes.
Now tell us a little bit about that move.
So that was originally we had an Echo store just north of that location.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was kind of in the Echo heyday, and then once we decided to expand that into a multi-brand, we moved on to Jasper Ave, and that was a lot of people told us we were going to fail there.
Yeah.
They were not excited about it. We were excited about it because we already had been doing business downtown. And so we built this beautiful store. This store was amazing. It was so beautiful. Just thinking about it still. And sorry, my parents built that store.
Yeah.
I say we.
Yeah.
I was there, but they were still owning the business. And then that store was great for 10 years. We did a solid business there. We had the office crowd. We had the locals. That's a really high density area.
Yeah.
And then what happened was COVID.
Yeah.
And we lost about 80% of our business overnight.
Because everybody left working downtown.
Yes. And our landlord would not agree to any of the government programs. So we moved quickly. We moved to the West End because we thought, well, actually, we were looking for warehouse space in case we had to just put the shoes somewhere.
Store everything,
And we found this B or C location.
Another B or C.
You're moving up
another
B or C.
It's a little tucked away. It's not a little barn there, a little tucked away. But there's another business next to it, Pace Setter Ski. Independent specialty.
And they've been around forever.
91.
Yes.
91.
I remember. I bought skis there.
My brother's they're amazing.
Yeah.
And they're here. They're doing a business. It's near Mayfield Common, which is a big box complex. And that store opened even in COVID times and was just gangbusters. We had no idea that, moving such an extreme move.
Yes.
But some people came from downtown, but it was actually the surrounding areas that were shopping in it.
Okay, that location, there used to be a restaurant there.
Astros. Yes.
I know that restaurant.
It burned down.
I got kicked out of there. But that's a long story. That's another story. I got kicked out. But because I remember
it's an institution.
It was actually a really good restaurant.
Yeah,
it was my own fault I got kicked out, but nonetheless, it was they were in there, weren't they? So it was a place people knew.
Yeah, you have to look at the other businesses that have been there a long time and go, well, they're here. Yeah. And then you start looking at the West End, and there's all these little independents nestled in there. That have been there for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, and people know about them, and it's word of mouth. And I only knew about you because of my mom. She told me about you. I'd never been there. And then Jennifer started talking about how she went there all the time, and I thought, okay. So it's word of mouth, and away you go. And it's pretty good. That's wow. What a story. And you're happy in this location.
And so then we opened we're happy in the West store, and then we opened the East store with everything about the West store in mind. Its proximity to the Ring Road, the Henday, also the nestled in a high density neighborhood.
Right.
Affordable rent again. We're actually with Smart Center, who are the Walmart conglomerate that lease the surrounding areas. And it is been so busy there.
And you just opened.
We just opened.
Yes, and it's in Capilano.
Capilano, East Edmonton.
I love Capilano.
Close to Sherwood Park.
Yeah. And I used to go to the McDonald's at Capilano all the time.
The spaceship one.
Yeah, the spaceship one. Yeah. Okay, Capilano, that's pretty cool. This is just, I'm just blown away by all of this. This is fascinating.
You know what, though? Morgan, we were talking a little bit about this before we got on air, and I thought this was so fascinating. So you took over from your parents, you and your brother, but how did that dynamic change?
Yeah.
Because you're not just siblings anymore, now you're business partners.
You are. Well, I would say like the most serious relationship in my life is with my brother / business partner.
Of course.
It is more entwined than a marriage in many ways.
Do you
right?
fight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Like
he's my brother, not physically, but
No, but you have it out.
I mean, he's my
What do you fight over?
He's
Like,
the middle child, and I have to say, he was always growing up my nice brother. You know.
where he's the middle child.
Yeah, we're very close in age.
Are you the youngest or the oldest?
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
Oh, well,
We're very close in age, and
So-
all of his friends were my friends.
Right.
You know?
Do you fight about shoe styles?
Actually, the thing we never fight about, or rarely fight about, is the shoes. It's always operational stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
So
The business part itself.
It
That's
needed,
good, yeah.
And so the big stuff we tend not to disagree
Yeah,
on. It's usually
right.
little stuff.
Little
And
stuff.
so we, like about a year and a half ago, started getting some business coaching and
Right.
planning
Yeah.
help, because we needed to know where we were going.
Sure.
What are we doing? What's the plan?
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like having a babysitter that makes you do your chores.
Do you have to take like timeouts from each other?
Well, the nice thing is we've got a couple stores, so
Yes.
we can just each go to a store.
I was going to say, if it gets really tense, just come out here to the Wall Coffee Road
Yes.
and sit in this space for a while.
Go for coffee.
Breathe, calm down.
Yeah.
Just put it on my tab, and away you
Yes,
go. And
exactly.
shouldn't
And
have
so
said that. Now everybody knows how to tab. Oh, here we go. That's going to just skyrocket through the roof. But anyways.
So, I mean, we're so different in so many ways. My brother is like very analytical. Like
Yeah.
he's the brains of the business. He's the one that's going to be able to break down the numbers into something that makes sense.
Right.
I am the like emotional. Like I have a feeling. I have it.
You're looking at each other.
Yeah, I have the
You
feeling.
can figure that out, right?
But it's usually pretty correct based on no facts. My feelings are pretty good.
That's what I always say. But I get overridden.
And Everett's like building the systems, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to do this? So with a third location, how are we going to operate
Right.
with more staff, more inventory?
Yeah. You're
3
growing, yeah.
locations and keep it consistent. So that's his
Bigger
brain.
means more.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I'm like the people side. So
Yeah.
dealing with most of our staff and dealing with
Now, you said something else to us before we started recording, that your mom and your dad they still come to the store.
They do. So they handed it over. They didn't make us buy the business. They handed it over to us,
Wow.
like the family farm.
Yeah.
Gave us the keys.
Wow.
And we don't make them work. Full disclosure, they are allowed to retire, but they want to work.
Yeah,
and I think
sure.
there's been a really big movement as the population is going down.
Yeah.
That people are working longer, sometimes because they have to,
Yeah.
but a lot of times because they have skills that we aren't able to replace
Isn't
yet.
that true?
Well, and here's the thing, I think anyways, I'm a big believer in this, is that we forget sometimes that our parents, our grandparents, all they went through, all they learned, all they experienced, and here we come along, or we came along as these young people who thought we knew everything.
Oh yeah.
And their experience is worth.
It's gold.
Oh, it's gold.
It is gold.
Yeah, I always call it heritage. Your heritage is your greatest asset.
Yeah. And
Because they know.
my mom doing the bookkeeping, like the cash flow side
Yeah.
is so important
Yes.
to the business.
Yeah.
And her doing that all these years, she's got it so dialed that she can do it a couple hours every day.
Yeah, yeah.
When they do go away in the summers, I do her job.
Yeah.
So I know exactly how long it would take a normal
Yeah,
person.
yeah, for
She's
sure.
amazing.
She's there,
She
yeah,
can do
for
it so
sure.
fast. And so we've got coverage where they can leave, they don't feel like they have to be there. And then when my dad's at the store, he comes in every morning and he works till about 2 p.m. and he always still notices something. Oh, we should move that, or we can do that, or I noticed this about the customers. So he still often will come to the shoe show with us, and they've been very good about letting us lead it. Like they don't help us make big decisions. At the end of the day, they know now that.
But you know they're always there.
They're there.
They're always there.
Nobody can say I did not hang out with my family.
No, and if you needed them, they're there.
Yes,
I love this.
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah, if you need them, they're there.
That's right.
That's phenomenal. Okay, well, we got to move on here because of time. We went to your store the other day, Jennifer and I, and we bought for 2 reasons. We knew you were coming on the program, and secondly, our 100th episode, and we bought Kunitz Shoes.
Yes.
I have in my hand a Kunitz that I bought.
As did I. It is your brand, Kunitz Shoes.
I'm going to say 2 things. One, I'd never been in your store before, so I didn't know what to expect.
I love that.
2, the people were amazing. They were just right in the sense that, I don't know how you felt, but they weren't like on you. They weren't like following you every. How can we help you? Is there anything? If you need anything, just ask. They let me look around because you have a lot of shoes.
It's a lot.
There is a lot of shoes in there.
My mom always said she would never shop at our store. There's way too many shoes.
There's a lot of. There's a lot of shoes, and so but the minute I had something. Can we help you? Can we get you a they were just so pleasant. They were so wonderful. And we ended up buying them. And I'm so excited about this. So what I'm trying to say is it was a great experience.
I like that because that's a question actually I wanted to ask Morgan. For somebody coming in, Cam just explained his experience.
Yeah.
With your store and what your brand and what you want to represent, what do you want somebody coming in for the first time to experience with your store?
That's a deep question too. You guys are like hard one. So I think when people come in, I want them to feel excited and impressed by the product. The product that is what you can get right. The service is the next thing. Yeah. But sometimes you fail, sometimes you can do it well. But with the service side, as far as the experience, my parents have always believed in paying a living wage.
Right.
So you do get what you pay for.
Yeah.
If you take care of your people, you pay them properly, they're trained properly, they're going to deliver that experience every time, and they're proud to work there.
They love working for you.
You can tell they're proud to work there.
They loved working there.
And our retention is incredibly high.
Whereas I'm not going to name them, but I wear a lot of runners. I've been to some big box stores, and the people that work there, it's like they're not happy.
Yeah.
They're not happy. And I would be happy because you're with white runners all the time.
Yeah.
They're not happy. You should go work somewhere else. At Kunitz, they were happy. She was very happy.
Yes.
And you want to shop somewhere where you think it's going to be there for a while, right?
Exactly.
You get the feeling like our business is going to be around.
And you know what's awesome with these shoes is your name is right there.
It's on them. So
and
if you don't like them, you don't like me.
You know why I like that? No, I do like them. So I do like them.
And Cam, do you know what else we were really impressed with? Warranty. Cam could not believe it.
When he told me that at the till, 6 months.
6 month warranty.
He almost fell over.
I did. I almost fell off. I couldn't. You don't go, and I won't name the store, but you don't go to the one with the swoop on, those people. They don't look at you and go, 6 month warranty. They look at you and go, you can wear them at home on the carpet and return them, but if there's any dirt on them, we're not taking them back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. And when that gentleman said 6 months, I thought, I don't think I can shop anywhere else.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, we actually have a repair guy. It's kind of like the shoemaker elves. He comes at night and he does all our repairs for the warranty. So we bring the shoes and we put them in a bin. And he comes in because he has his own repair shop. So he works at night for us and he does the repairs and they're magically ready the next day.
That's a dying art right there.
I was going to say that is a lost art.
You don't see a lot of
trying to keep him employed.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of cobblers anymore.
No.
That's a dying
so
art.
So hard and so skilled.
Well, this is just unbelievable. This is incredible. Unbelievable, really. Okay, we got to wind down here. And you sell other things.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I was actually, it was the first time I had seen some clothing in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have a Canadian brand called Amian. They make wool jackets. They're made in Victoria, BC, I believe. We also have a handbag line that we source from India.
Yes.
And wallets. I saw your wallet.
Yeah.
I got to go back and take a little bit more look at. Those were because I like that.
Shoe adjacent products.
Yeah.
Shoe adjacent.
I like that.
We might have to rebrand Kunitz Goods.
I gotta tell you, I'm always trying to be transparent on our podcast. I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna talk shoes. That'll be an interesting conversation. It'll be. But this is just blowing me away. Warranty, your own cobbler, like that is just amazing to me. The only thing I would say, and this is just me, just saying it, probably should say it off air. Few more white runners, then we'd really be.
I got you.
We'd really be like. That's just me, though.
I love a good white sneaker moment for a guy.
The truth?
I love it.
There's a story.
I mean, it's Alberta, though. It's Alberta.
Well, this is the problem.
It is.
So you do. I have
keep
to buy.
those clean.
Yeah. So I have a few pair, and I have cleaner that cleans them and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, I think I've found my shoe store. I should have listened to my mother when she was here because she's like, you should go there, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
I'm glad I introduced you. Reintroduced you.
You did it. You introduced me because I knew about it, but I used to drive by it and go, that's where that pizza place was that I got kicked out of. That's
another podcast.
That's another podcast. Anyway, this has been fantastic.
There is.
Yeah.
So, Morgan, we have one final question that we ask each of our guests. What is the best piece of advice you've been given either personally or professionally that you carry with you to this day?
Okay, so I think it's got to be from my dad, and he always told me that you are your best investment, and never let anyone else tell you otherwise. So
I like that.
That is what my parents did. They've always taken the business profit and put it back into the business and grow in the business. And a lot of people from the outside tell you that there's something else you could do better in, but you know your business, and that's always going to be your best investment and return.
Wow.
Great
That's
advice.
Fantastic.
Morgan, where can people find Kunitz Shoes?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 locations in Edmonton as well as kunitzshoes.ca. Our Saddleback Road location is on the south side, 114th Street and 23rd Ave. The West End location is just south of Mayfield Common, and our new location is in Capilano, right next to the Winners and Dollarama.
Right on.
If you have not been to a Kunitz Shoes, you have to check them out. And if you don't live in Edmonton, visit them online.
Absolutely, because these are great shoes, folks. I'm not even kidding. I got a lot of shoes. I got more shoes than anybody else in my family. And I'm so excited about these. I haven't worn them. They're so clean, but I'll wear them. These are absolutely awesome. Check it out. It's absolutely amazing. You're going to love it. Hey, don't forget Wing Snob. Check out their wings. Amazing, 16 flavors, 4 rubs.
www.wingsnob.ca.
They're absolutely amazing. And we need you to tell people about the podcast. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your enemies. If you don't have any friends, make some just so you can tell them about this podcast, because it's absolutely awesome. And you can find it wherever you get your podcasts or at
www.coffeeinthepark.com.
That's right. And hey, just check it out, and you need to make sure to
subscribe, and then you will not miss a new episode of Coffee in the Park.
That's right. Subscribe. And after today, ladies and gentlemen, and all who listen, pets, animals, people, it'll be our 101st podcast.
That's right.
Unbelievable. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
you, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next week.
See you next week.